Welcome to Month 2, Lesson 2, Getting Healthy Foods. There's a lot of information in the binder for Month 2, Lesson 2, and this presentation is just going to highlight some of the major take-home messages. So the first section of the lesson focuses on stocking your pantry. A pantry is a cool and dry place to store non-perishable foods. Things like dry goods, canned goods, and spices. A lot of people use cupboards, drawers, or a closet as a pantry. If you don't have access to a built-in space for a pantry, you can use a small bookcase or table. Keeping a well-stocked pantry helps make meal planning easy. Here is a list of foods that many people keep in a pantry. For a detailed list, please refer to the materials in the binder. Many people include dried herbs and spices in their pantry. This includes things like dried basil to make spaghetti sauce, black pepper, chili powder, salt, and parsley, to name a few types of spices. Some people also include baking staples in their pantry. These are things like flour, sugar, baking soda, and baking powder. They're used as the foundation for many baked goods. Canned beans and fish are also a staple in many people's pantries. You can add beans like kidney beans, black beans, or lima beans to salads and soups. You can use canned tuna or salmon to add protein to salads, casseroles, and pastas. Canned fruit is also a staple in many people's pantries. Canned fruit includes things like pineapple, applesauce, corn, and green beans, and they help to make quick and easy side dishes or snacks on their own. Some folks like to include dried fruit in their pantries. This is things like raisins. You can use raisins or craisins to make homemade trail mix, which there's a recipe for in Month 1, Lesson 1. A lot of people like to have canned milk or powdered milk on hand in case they run out of fresh milk. Canned, low-fat evaporated and dried powder milk keep longer than fresh milk. Please prepare them according to the package directions. And you can actually substitute dried or canned milk for fresh milk in many recipes. A lot of people like to purchase things like canned tomato sauce or jarred tomato sauce for quick recipes at home. So including canned tomato sauce as well as whole dried and pureed tomatoes on hand can be used as a basic ingredient in lots of different types of recipes. Make sure to stock up on cereals, particularly whole grain cereals, when they're on sale. You can enjoy these with fresh fruit if it fits within your meal plan, and milk. Alternatively, you can use some dried grains to make dried cereal snack. There's a recipe for that in Month 10, Lesson 10. Pastas and rice are also a common staple in many people's pantries. Remember to buy whole wheat pasta and brown rice if it's on sale. You can store it in airtight containers after opening to keep it fresh and to prevent pests. Oils and vinegars are also a staple in many people's pantries. You can use lots of different types of oils while cooking, and vinegar is often used as a foundation of many salad dressings. This month's lessons also focused on learning to read unit prices. For many people, it's challenging for families that have limited resources to be able to afford healthy foods. What a lot of people don't know is that the price tag on the grocery shelf contains a lot of useful information to help you decide which food items are the best deal. In some stores, the unit price is listed on the shelf price label. In this example, for the first item, the retail price is $1.99 and the unit price is 13 cents per ounce. So the retail price is the total cost that you pay for the item, and the unit price is the price per unit. For example, price per pound or price per ounce. So in the second example here, the retail price is $3.99 and the unit price is 10 cents per ounce. So even though this jar of peanut butter on the right-hand side has a more expensive price tag, it's a better buy because the unit price is lower. It's essentially a bigger container where the cost per ounce is less. Some stores don't list the unit price on the shelving tag, but you can calculate it yourself. Be sure to bring a calculator with you to the grocery store, as this will help you calculate the unit price, the pricing quickly. You just need two numbers, the retail price and the number of units that the food is sold in. So in this example, which is another example for peanut butter, the retail price is $1.99. And based on the shelf label, we know that the jar is 15 ounces. So to calculate the unit price, you divide the retail price by the number of units. So in this example, the retail price is $1.99, and we divide that by 15 because there's 15 ounces in the jar. So this equals 13 cents per ounce. There's a lot of opportunities to practice in getting more comfortable with unit pricing in the binder, so make sure to check out month 2, lesson 2. Just because something has a cheaper unit price, though, doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best value. Before you buy the bigger package, make sure you ask yourself a few questions. For instance, will I use a larger package before it spoils? If the food is just going to go bad, then it's not worth buying the bigger package. Do I have enough money to buy the larger package? Do I have a place to store the larger package? And do I have storage containers needed to safely store the larger package? So these are just things to consider when you're weighing the costs and benefits of buying a bigger package versus a smaller package. This month's lesson also focused on recognizing healthy and unhealthy foods and how to read nutrition facts labels. There's a lot of information in the binder, but here is a very brief overview with some tips. So the nutrition facts label includes a lot of different information. I'm just going to highlight some of the major things to pay attention to. So first off, pay attention to serving size. Some listed serving sizes are very small. So ask yourself how many servings I'm eating. So in this example, a serving size is 1 1/4 cups. You also want to see how many servings there are per container, which is usually listed right below the serving size. So it's common for a package of food to contain more than one serving. So in this example, if you're eating half of the container of food, you're consuming 660 calories, since there's 6 servings per container. And of course, you want to pay attention to calories. Controlling calories is very important if you're trying to control your weight. The nutrition facts label also includes a lot of information about total fat and types of saturated fat. So in general, the type of fat is more important information than total fat. So monosaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats are healthy fats. On the other hand, saturated fats and trans fats are unhealthy fats. Those are the types of fats that you want to limit. So in general, your total daily fat intake should be between 20 and 35% of the total calories that you eat, but you want to limit the saturated fat to be less than 10% of the total calories you eat, and you want to avoid trans fats. So you should be consuming 0% of your total calories from trans fat. Looking at sodium levels on foods is also important, particularly for processed foods. There's a lot of sodium in many processed foods, and sodium can increase your blood pressure, which is associated with poor heart disease outcomes. So in general, you want to limit your sodium intake to less than 2,300 milligrams per day. And if you're over 51, you want even lower levels of sodium intake, so you want to limit your intake to less than 1,500 milligrams per day if you're 51 years of age or older. And of course, less sugar is always better, so always make sure you read your ingredients list. Protein is also included on nutrition facts labels, but this is of secondary concern. Most of us get plenty of protein, so unless otherwise instructed by your doctor, paying attention to nutrition effects about protein should be secondary to looking at total calories, fat, sugar, and sodium. So in the previous slide, I said that paying attention to serving size and servings per container is really important. A lot of people are surprised by how small serving sizes actually are. So for instance, a serving size of cereal might just be 1 1/4 cups when most people are eating much more than that as part of their breakfast. So in this example, let's say you're eating 2 servings of the food. So if you're eating 2 servings of the food, which would be 2 1/2 cups, you have to make sure that you double the calories and the daily percent values for all of the nutrients. So if you're eating 2 servings of this particular food, you're getting 14% of your total fat, 6% of your saturated fat, 10% of your cholesterol, 40% of your sodium, 26% of your total carbohydrates, 56% of your dietary fiber, 32% of your protein, 40% of your vitamin A, 120% of your vitamin C, 8% of your calcium, and 20% of your iron. And this is because, again, when you're eating double the amount of the serving size, you need to double all of the nutrients on the nutrition facts label. There's also some information in the lesson 2 materials about nutrients that you should get more or less of. And it's just a little cheat sheet, nutrients that you should get less of. So you want to aim for getting less than 100% daily values. And that's for things like saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. And healthy nutrients, which are nutrients to get more of. So, it's great to get more than 100% daily values for these nutrients. And that's things like dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. This month's lesson also focused on using a list when grocery shopping. So there's a lot of reasons to do that. First of all, shopping with a grocery list could help you save money. This is because sticking to your list helps you avoid impulse purchases. And impulse purchases are usually budget busters. Shopping with a list also helps you eat healthy. So many impulse purchases have limited nutritional value. It's often things like chips, ice cream, cookies, crackers, and pop. So sticking to your list helps you avoid purchasing these types of food. Shopping with the grocery list also can be used as a tool for meal planning, which you'll learn a little bit about later in the curriculum. So take some time to think about what you need for meals for the week by taking inventory of staples that you have in the house and researching your well-loved recipes before going to the store. Shopping with the grocery list also saves time, so you won't need to spend time at the grocery store thinking about what you should eat for dinner because you're going to already have your list. And you can also stick to the aisles that have the food on your list rather than going up and down every aisle. And shopping with a grocery list also helps avoid food waste. And this is because you have a list and you only purchase what you plan to use. So you're going to save money and avoid throwing out foods that are going to spoil before you get to use them. There's a lot of different tips on best ways to make a grocery list. One of the important things is to group similar foods together. For example, put all your fresh fruits and vegetables on the list together, put all your fresh proteins together, put all your frozen foods together, and all your canned goods together. And this helps you avoid having to take multiple passes down each aisle when you're at the grocery store. Some people also find it helpful to keep their grocery list in a central location, and this is particularly important if you have more than one person living in your house, and you can just have folks add staples to the list as they're being used up. So if someone uses all the milk, they could add milk to the grocery list. If someone uses all of the cereal, they could add cereal to the grocery list. Another important point is that you don't have to create a shopping list in just one sitting. So many people keep an ongoing list throughout the week. So they add foods to the list as they're needed. And again, if you're doing this, it's really important to encourage your family to participate in adding to the grocery list if they use up staple food items. And if there's foods that you need to buy every week or every couple of weeks or however often you go to the grocery store, such as milk and bread, just make that a permanent part of your list. And lesson 2 has some templates of grocery shopping lists that you can use. So this is just highlighting some of the major take-home points from this month's lesson from the binder, but be sure to check out some of the videos for the recipes, as well as the binder materials. So as I mentioned, there's more details about stocking your pantry, so different types of food items that might be ideal to include in your pantry. There's more information on calculating unit pricing. A lot of people need practice with this. And then there's also some templates for grocery lists. Have a good day.